Hi, I'm David, and we are going to use research to look at what we can predict for the future of the housing market. So, first off, I want to welcome you to this channel. For those who haven't been familiar with me, we're going to talk about how we can use research with our clients, with our investors, with ourselves to take looks into what we can expect for the housing market. And really, what we're trying to do is we want to predict what's going to happen in the future so that we can be best prepared to make adjustments and to make purchases that make sense. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the literature. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I would love for you to be able to see what I'm seeing as I work on some of these questions. So right here, this is a database that I use quite often. And I'm going to use this database to get research. And I already had put in a database information on the housing market. I'm going to make this a little bit wider so that you can see it. So let's go ahead and do that right now in full screen. And here we are in full screen. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to change things. So I'm going to go to this tab right here. Okay. And I want to switch over to blog outline. And I want to get information on exactly what we can search for research to help out. Okay, so we are going to be now on this AI-based database, which I use predominantly as an assistant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the question we had, the housing market future. Now, Grammarly is just making sure I do my edits well. We want a friendly tone for this, at least research. We're going to give this about 20 seconds for our assistant to give us some tools of what we can look up. A hunch about the future, the challenge for those in design and development, potential architects. So mortgage. Okay, here we go. Mortgage rates are on the rise. This looks like a fantastic statement to check out with research. So I'm going to take this statement and we are going to go into our research database right here. And I'm going to paste that statement in. And we should be able to see a lot of information about the rates of mortgages rising. This is going to be backed up by research. Now I have this in the year 2021 to 2022. So the research of this has been published within the last year. That way we are getting the most up-to-date information. Usually I like to hold about the last 5 years. And I like to look at research the way I like to look at advice from people. At the end of the day, I'm going to make my own decisions about what I'm going to do with my life. But when I'm getting advice, I usually listen to what someone has to say. I listen very carefully. I don't take it personally. I take notes on what they're saying. I don't mix up with what they're telling me. And I hear it the way they're telling me. After that, I go to someone else and I gather more information. Particularly, I like to get this information from experts. After that, I'll go to someone else. Now, if I have 4 or 5 or even 6 people who are experts saying the same thing, then I pretty much have a good consensus of what that information should be true to some extent. For example, say I'm at a party and all my family's there. The family that knows me very well, my siblings, my mom, and say I'm asking them if they think that I'm favoring my left leg more than my right leg. And they all say yes. I can look at that information, even if I think I'm favoring my right leg more than my left leg. I can look at that information and say, okay, everyone's saying this. They know me very well. I need to take a look at what everyone is saying. So that's how we're going to try to approach some of this research right now. Okay. Mortgage rates on the rise. Let's see what we got. The rate of non-traditional mortgage rates preceded by the housing boom. Interest rate. Okay. Also, mortgage rates and spot rates appear less vulnerable to the financial crisis compared to housing prices. Okay. Mortgage interest rates increase by 0.04. Study 2018. And lending decreases by 0.01. And we'll have to do more in-depth look into that. Non-traditional mortgages have shown to have a larger impact on the housing price cycle. Okay, let's take a look and continue to see if there's a rise. Show that these mortgages experience a much higher default rate. Okay, so there we're looking into default rate. adjustable rate mortgages. So right away, I'm taking a look and I'm not seeing too many articles that are backing that statement. That doesn't mean the statement's not true, but it just means the research is not necessarily backing it. So I'm going to go back to copy AI and try to find something that's going to be a little bit more concrete that I can give to my investors as data, as information of what the research is saying. And I believe the default rate of housing mortgage rates are rising. Okay, so we do have some information right here. This is the third time I've seen now discussion about the default rate of the housing mortgages rising. So there's something going on with that. Now, when we talk about specifically mortgage rates on the rise, we don't know that for sure yet based off of research. Let's take a look at this one. Housing inventory is low. This seems true if I'm going to speculate, but we need the data to back what we are assuming. So we're going to take a look. And again, this is based off the last year, and that could be a limitation. Maybe I might need to open it up to more recent times. And this one doesn't have much information at all. So what I'm going to do is I am going to open it up to 2017 and see if there's any more details that we can utilize. Okay, 100 results. Yeah, it should be in position of housing inventory. Okay, that one is okay, may increase local inventory. Other states in their efforts to increase low income housing inventory. Many states, housing elements required. Now this talks about plans to increase inventory. Let's see. Now, even though I felt that statement was true, I haven't found in my quick look, I have not found anything that represents that the data is showing that the inventory rates are low. So I can't say that specifically from a data standpoint that's been published. It's not readily available quickly. I would have to have someone give me the article or point out the article. All right. So let's see if we can find one more. The housing market is growing. And I just want to take a quick look before we go at this one. And we'll see if this will debunk one of the myths or not. So let's take a look. The housing market is growing. And we believe the buzz of the housing market. This talks about the bubble. This talks about the growing share of housing market outsiders among the labor market insiders. Okay, the growing evidence of high levels of fixed LTV ratio, the risk of the housing market volatility. And again, that statement is something that would take more digging. Right away, we can't say that to our clients without necessarily having the data. So, long story short, a little bit of a lackluster research topic on here, but when it comes to those three sayings, when it comes to the real estate outlook, it's a little tricky because there hasn't been anything clear and definite that we found in those three statements. So we're gonna have to keep doing digging, and we will together figure out things that we can tell the clients that will benefit them. One thing we can say in definite research for sure is that the default rates of mortgages are increasing. So that is something we did find. At this time, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video if you found some value here. We'll be back with more information on research with real estate and how you can use research with your real estate for your clients, for yourselves, and also for your portfolios. Take care.